My name is Keely. I'm currently pregnant, been married to Elliot for 2 years. Finally, we're expecting our long-awaited child. I'm only 4 months along, but I'm already so excited to meet our baby. Seeing me like this, Elliot often chuckles and says,
"No matter how antsy you get, the baby will come when it's time. Just relax."
I'm truly happy living with Elliot. We live in a multi-generational home. Before marrying Elliot, I lived alone while working, so adjusting to life together had its challenges, but now we have grown to respect each other. However, there is one thing that bothers me, that is, "Hey there, Keely!" mother-in-law. It's Elliot's mom, Tara. Because we live in a multi-generational home, Tara often drops by unannounced, telling me to do chores or give her a massage. She's quite intrusive. Could you please ring the doorbell when you come? What? I've told you, I'm Elliot's mother. Why should I listen to you, his wife? Just get on with the chores. Tara insists that I do the housework. I can manage some chores now, but what about when the baby is almost here? I hesitantly ask Tara, what will happen when I'm close to my due date and can't move around easily? What does it matter? You're the daughter-in-law. It's your job to take care of the house. I can't believe this. Tara says this as if she's completely in the right. At this rate, Tara really seems to be forced to do housework. I don't want to burden Elliot or my father-in-law Harrison with this issue. Just then, Harrison speaks to me.
"You seem troubled, Keely. If you want to talk, I'm here. You're carrying our grandchild after all."
I am touched by Harrison's kindness, but lie to avoid causing trouble. I'm fine. It's just the new experience of pregnancy and the changes it brings.
"Alright, but don't push yourself too hard. You're important to me too."
Thank you. Harrison's warm words give me some relief. Fast forward 6 months and I've given birth to our child.
"You did great, Keely. Thank you, really. Thank you."
Elliot holds my hand and says this through tears. After giving birth, I'm set to stay in the hospital for a while with the baby. Will you be okay, Elliot? Can you manage the chores?
"Don't worry. I lived alone from college until we got married. I can handle a few chores."
Elliot laughs, but my concern isn't just whether he can do the housework or not. I was anxious about leaving Elliot alone, thinking he might say something. My fears quickly became a reality. While I was in the hospital, Tara showed up. You planning on being lazy forever? Do you have any idea how hard Elliot's life is right now? Mother-in-law, Elliot is struggling on his own, and you? Lying in a hospital bed, probably spending Elliot's hard-earned money. This can't go on. No, mother-in-law, please listen. There's nothing to listen to. Get up and take care of the house. Tara tried to forcibly pull me out of bed to take me outside. Wait, stop. Come on, you need to do the housework. Nurses witnessed Tara's actions and thankfully intervened. Tara was escorted out by the nurses, but not before yelling, "I'll be back tomorrow. You will do the housework." I always knew Tara was unreasonable, but this was beyond normal. I even felt my life was in danger. Something had to be done about Tara. So I took action. The next day, Tara returned to the hospital. Keely, you are doing Elliot's share of the housework today. Tara stormed into the room only to look surprised. Oh, what? You and Elliot? Why are you here? Yes, Elliot and Harrison were already in the room. You guys were home before I left. When did you get to the hospital?
"We drove here? What on earth are you doing? What did you do to Keely, Mom?"
Huh? Tara looked puzzled at their anger. What's wrong with you two? I was just trying to get Keely to do some housework.
"Just housework? Are you kidding? Keely is hospitalized."
Harrison was fuming. Still, Tara looked as if she had done nothing wrong. Think about it. Elliot has to work, right? It's hard for him to also handle housework. It's sad when there's a daughter-in-law who should be doing it. Tara insisted, but Harrison was not convinced.
"Are you kidding me? You were hospitalized when you gave birth, right? So it's okay for you, but not for Keely?"
That's different. I was weaker than others. Keely is not. Tara's logic made no sense. She was just being selfish with no logic at all. Why are you siding with Keely so much? You're Elliot's father. You should be on his side. Tara was red at the face as she said this, but Harrison had something heavy to say.
"Do you even know who Keely is?"
What do you mean? She's just a daughter-in-law, nothing more, nothing less. She should be listening to her mother-in-law.
"Don't be ridiculous. Keely is not just any daughter-in-law. She is a CEO of the company where I work.
What?
She's the one who gave me a job when I was laid off and feeling down.
That's right. I actually run a company that's quite successful. And when I heard Harrison was laid off, I wanted to help, so I offered him a job. Oh, you? I heard you had a layoff, but did you work for this woman? Or rather, this woman is the manager? This is the first time I've heard of that.
You probably didn't know about it until now. We talked about it at the family meeting, but did you forget it?
I don't remember. I was too focused on the sneaky as a cat woman who stole Elliot. Tara seemed to have been acting out without knowing who I really am. Well, to be fair, her behavior was pretty rude even if she did know. But just because you're a business owner doesn't mean you can dump all the housework on Elliot. Even after learning the truth, Tara still said that to me.
Seriously, how many times do you have to insult Keely before you're satisfied?
And what about you? You could have joined a better company, but you chose this small business just because Keely was there? Where's your pride as a man?
You're the one who's mistaken. Keely's company is actually quite large. Competitive, even with major corporations.
What? No way.
It's true. I would rather not say it, but I make a good salary.
What? Keely, you're not just some housewife?
When did I ever say I was just a housewife? You just assumed that. I actually run a substantial business.
You're lying. Elliot, say something. If she owns such a big company, make him a stay-at-home dad or something.
Tara seemed to be trying to get Elliot on her side as she sensed the tide turning against her, but Elliot said, "Sorry, Mom, but being a stay-at-home dad isn't for me. I like my job well enough, and I've never really thought about quitting. Keely and I did talk about it once, but I decided to keep working."
What are you doing? If you become a stay-at-home dad, you can just lounge around, watch TV, and eat snacks all day. You don't want that?
What kind of image does Tara have of stay-at-home dads? Maybe she's been living that kind of life herself. Tara, now that you know who Keely really is, you should apologize for your rude comments, Harrison said sternly. But Tara still wouldn't back down.
I will never apologize to this little girl.
Enough is enough. It's not just the rude comments. You also tried to force Keely, who just gave birth and hasn't fully recovered, to come back home.
So what? She's a housewife. It's her job to do housework.
I'm telling you to consider Keely's health. She just gave birth to our grandchild.
So what? I couldn't care less.
What?
I don't need a grandchild. All I need is Elliot. I was against the marriage in the first place, but you approved it. So I had no choice but to let Elliot go. That's why I made living in a multi-generational home a condition for the marriage.
But I was the one who financially supported the multi-generational home. It was an unnecessary expense because you insisted on it. Elliot and Keely would have been in a nearby condo or something.
Enough. I only agreed to the marriage because it would be a multi-generational home, but I never said you could steal Elliot away.
You've lost it, Harrison muttered, baffled by Tara's nonsensical rant.
Who's lost it? You guys are. I have raised Elliot all these years, and now some little girl comes along and takes him away?
So you're fine with Elliot staying single even when he's 40 or 50?
Yes. As long as he lives next to us, that's fine.
And what if we pass away before him? He'll be left alone, is that okay?
Of course it's okay. Who would complain about that?
It became clear that Tara only thinks about herself. If Elliot had stayed single to take care of Tara and Harrison, he would be the one left alone when they pass away. She hasn't considered this at all. It's scary to think that she doesn't care about her son's happiness. Harrison seemed to feel the same fear. I have seen enough to know how terrible you are. I have always thought your love for Elliot was a bit extreme, but this is beyond that. I can't live with you anymore. I want a divorce.
Oh, what? Wait, what are you saying?
You have brought this on yourself. If you're only going to think about yourself, then stay out of our lives.
Wait, this isn't a joke. Why do I have to hear this? There's no way we're getting a divorce. Where would I live?
Rent an apartment and get a part-time job.
No way. Both my parents are gone and I have no family home. Asking for a divorce is too cruel.
You just said the same thing to Elliot, didn't you? You didn't think about him being alone, but now that it's about you, you're panicking?
What are you? Huh?
Tara was taken aback by Harrison's sudden decision. The possibility of suddenly becoming single and divorced was understandably unsettling. Just then, Tara glared at me.
Hey, you! What are you going to do about this? Because of you, my husband is furious. Tell him that asking for a divorce is going too far.
You're asking me to do that? No thank you. You've caused me enough trouble already.
What trouble? I haven't done anything.
What? You tried to forcibly take me out of the hospital, remember? I was genuinely scared and almost cried. I felt like my life was in danger.
Life in danger?
You're exaggerating. I'm not. Because of your actions, I had no choice but to consult Elliot and my father-in-law. When I heard about it from Keely, I was shocked. Tara, it's time to give it up. You have been too rude to people, Harrison said. Both Harrison and Elliot were giving Tara cold stares. Feeling concerned, Tara started to cry and make excuses.
Why is this happening? Why am I the only one being blamed? All I cared about was Elliot. This is so unfair.
What's unfair is what you have been doing to Keely. Try to imagine how much you have hurt her.
Shut up. I don't care about that. This divorce talk is a joke, right? Stop it.
It's not a joke. I've been contemplating divorce for a while now. We're just not compatible. I never thought I'd be divorcing at this age, but it is what it is.
Wait, please don't divorce me, Keely. You have to stop him.
I'm sorry, but I have no reason to do that.
What do you mean no reason? You're the one who caused this mess, so take responsibility.
I have no such responsibility. And by the way, we're in a hospital. If you keep making a scene, you'll be the one getting kicked out.
Be quiet. This is all wrong. Do something.
Tara was throwing a tantrum and crying loudly when nurses came and escorted her out. Harrison and Elliot followed and left as well. Tara eventually divorced Harrison and moved out. I heard she's living in a small, old, cheap apartment and getting by with a part-time job. As for me, I was discharged from the hospital and am now living happily with Elliot and our newborn. Harrison occasionally visits to help out, and we have built a warm family life.